Evening, Mark Edwards handling the Domino's Pizza scoreboard, and we're certainly thrilled to have the folks from Domino's with us throughout the coming weeks and on with us on the scoreboard show. And Mark Edwards will be tracking those. We're online with the Nauticom Sports Network as well this year, and it's great to be with those folks. They got a website that's cranking out about 1 million hits a month. In your days, you were probably glad when we went to Ferrum the one year that you were an offensive coach, because that fire plug they had for a fullback down at Ferrum reminded this kid Boyd reminds me an awful lot of that one that they had. When the football season receiving the opening kickoff, they will be moving toward the brand new scoreboard. All part of some of the renovations going on here. We're looking for expansion of the track, rehabbing of the visitor side bleacher. The opening kickoff, Ted Nowitzki with the ball teed up. Martincheck in the middle, flanked by Washington and Cherry. Over the years, we've seen teams shy away from kicking the ball deep. Nowitzki approaches, and this one will bound down the near hash mark, taken by Washington at the 18. Goes to his right, he's across the 25, and just after he gets across the 30-yard line, his Hall
are a little bit concerned about that based on the fact that you don't practice that a whole lot.
Javon Washington, a 15-yard return to the opening kickoff. Justin Grigula set under center. A little Prexies shift, pull the ends in tight. Mark Clark, Ryan Moy, the wideouts. Monte Johnson goes in motion, hand the ball off to the fullback, reverse. Travis Thomas brings it to the near side across the 35, and finally dragged down right around the 40-yard line. And down and about 3, we'll call it. Clark and Moy set in tight. Justin Martincheck, Vontae Johnson, the wings. Johnson in motion, handed off to Martincheck, trying to get around the block by Moses, and does. He's to the 45, down the near sideline, 40, 30, kiss him goodbye. Justin Martincheck's first carry of the season goes for a 60-yard touchdown.
It doesn't take long. Speed kills, and once he got through the initial flow of the upfield charge of the defensive lineman, he had one man to beat. He picked up a little screener on the sideline and basically outraced everybody to the end zone. Great. I'm sure a guy's going to make sure that they don't ease up. The worst thing that can happen to a football team is when they score early is to kind of take a deep breath and say this is the ticket. But I'm sure he'll be looking forward to talking to his offensive lineman coming back.
Valley to hold, Grigula to kick, and the kick sails wide to the right. What do you got here? From the Department of Environmental Protection was used to grind up 6,000 used tires, and to have the labor to place that on the field. They aerated the field, overseeded with grass. It's a softer surface and increases safety for the players. Justin Grigula kicks off, and this kick carrying toward the sideline will bound along the line and just goes out of bounds before getting.
The word is that they're very disciplined with their fullback-oriented offense, and we're going to have to see what happens here, but obviously I don't think the coaching staff feels that they're out of this by any means this early.
Bill Schneider, the quarterback, steps under center. And they pitch the ball back to Jed Thompson. Thompson, then as he got to the line of scrimmage and is still able to work forward for a couple of yards out close to the 38-yard line. Wide out to the far side goes Ian Gibbons. Adam Silly and Jed Thompson, the wing backs, with Corey Boyd at the fullback spot, and Boyd takes the handoff, gets out across the 40 and out to the 46-yard line. First down, south side. Ball up to the 46. Same set, split end left, tight end right. Schneider brings a man in motion on the option, gives to the fullback, and this time Boyd has nowhere to go.
There was about 6 blue jerseys, and I can't pick out any of the numbers, Bob, so they were on that one pretty well.
Dan Moses had a hold of both knees.
Wash High is very impressive up front. They have a lot of size up front, which is not ordinary for them. Usually they're a little bit smaller than this.
Ball at the 46. And the ball off to the wingback, coming back around again. It's Jed Thompson, and Thompson snowed under a yard short of the line of scrimmage.
He tried to run a little inside counter, and Washington's speed off.
Silly going wide out to the left side. Now 3rd down and 11. Looked like Boyd got an early start, got a lot of room to run. He's across midfield and finally taken down at the Washington 40-yard line, but Boyd is slow to get up.
For the football game.
Boyd gain of 15 and the second Southside first down. Adam Silly goes in motion.
Oh boy.
Wide open receiver inside the Washington 20, had to come back to get the ball, and Ian Gibbons makes the grab and is down at about the 17-yard line.
Cornerback for Washington was
Yard pickup. Ball at the 17. Silsley is the fullback, pitch back to Silly, trying to go around the left side, hit as he gets inside the 15, stopped at the 14, a gain of 3. Second down and 7 at the Washington 14-yard line. Bill Schneider set under center. Thompson comes in motion. Silsley, the fullback, gets the call and gets forward for a yard. He's to the 13.
again the base play out.
Third down, we'll call it 6 at the 13. Wide to the near side is Ian Gibbons. Schneider, backside pressure, fumbles the ball, hit in the air, and it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass.
It's exactly what happened. They faked the off-tackle play to the fullback and tried to get the corner.
Field goal attempt.
The only reason the ball moved forward was because he got hit in the back.
This would be about a 30-yard field goal attempt. Nowitzki puts the foot to it, splits the upright. Southside on the board. 6.
One advantage they have is I think they're going to try to run the clock and try to keep the ball out of Washington's hands because of the explosiveness of the Washington offense. If they can do that, this is a good football game.
Nowitzki approaches, the kick to be taken, backpedaling by Javon Washington at his 11, looking to get to the line of blockers. He's to the 20, 25, makes a move to the outside, and finally tackled from behind, but not before. Southside, I apologize. Probably just set off some people's alarms here at the stadium listening in. Ball at the 33, 1st and 10, Washington. Justin Grugula set under center. Toss back to Vontae Johnson. Grugula trying to get it out on front to make the block. Johnson finally turns it upfield, cutting behind Grugula. Carries out across the 35 to about the 37. These have been the shuttles for the plays, getting themselves directly from the head coach. 5.5 minutes to play first quarter. 6-3 Washington leading. Second down and 6 at the 37. Little delay, give it off to Martincheck, trying to make a move in the backfield, and he's dragged down for a loss back to the 33-yard line.
Chris Simmons is 6'7", 330 pounds, playing over miles.
Third down and 10, back at the 33. Delay, fake the handoff to Martincheck. Grugula down the middle, looking for Moy, off his fingertips, incomplete. Led him just a little too far.
That anything funny is going to happen at this early in a football game.
Jared Butler back, send him out of the ball game. Washington has to get a sub in, and they do. Brian Skaggs is the personal protector. And Grugula gets a booming punt away. Butler watches it bounce, and it will kick inside the 20, the 15, and down at the 14. With pressure coming and coming fast, and was able to get good kicks away and help improve the field position. Bill Schneider again at the quarterback spot. 1st and 10. The handoff, ball is loose, scramble for the loose football, still loose. And I would believe that one of the Southside players has gotten back to it. The fumble by Silsley may have gotten a bruise. After the fumble and all of that, a loss of another yard. 2nd down and 11. Snyder to put it up. Pass is in and out of the hands. Are we going to get the call to catch and a fumble? If he gets the ball out where the receiver can take it in stride, it's a touchdown. 3rd down and 11 for Southside at their own 13-yard line. Schneider under center, hands the ball off to Silsley, and Silsley snowed under at the 14-yard line, the original line of scrimmage.
Washi's nose guard.
Things possibly working. And now with 3 minutes to play in the first quarter, Brandon Pontus back to punt. Snap is high. Little Prexies get a little pressure, and Pontus gets a bad punt away. Started with a bad snap, and the Little Prexies have to get away from the football. And boy, fortunately, they just get out of the way. Very short punt under bad situations, but Pontus makes it work out for Southside. Ball tossed back to Adam Silly, and Silly trying to get around the corner, has nowhere to go.
Loss.
Second down and 11 at the 30-yard line. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. 6-3 Washington. Schneider with a play fake, rolls, gets rid of the ball. It's underthrown and nearly picked off. Justin Martinchek almost took the coverage was because Binky Johnson was about to lower the boom on Schneider. Third down and 11 from the 30. Thompson comes in motion, takes the toss back, and gets caught from behind because there was nowhere to run in front.
Great job by the front of Washington that series. They did a good eye, and he did bobble the snap, and I'm not sure it was all the snap. I think it was a little bit of the gloves he's wearing too.
Silsley, the personal protector. Pontus gets a good snap, a little very deliberate getting rid of it. Punt taken by Javon Washington at the 38. He's to the wall, he's to the 40, to the 35, 30, still inbounds, looking for a block, and now just going to try to run away from people and drag down at about the 15-yard line.
That was a line drive kick, and Wash High with his speed certainly has an opportunity to take advantage of this with a 1st and goal and a 15.
Ends are split out. Valley to the near side. Ryan Moy to the right. Toss back to Vontae Johnson. Johnson makes a move to the 10, trying to cut back to his left and drag down finally at about the 5-yard line, close to a Washington first down. Big score coming on a 30-yard Ted Nowitzki field goal. Gregula leads the team to the line. Ends are set in tight. Vontae Johnson in motion. Gregula fumbles the ball in a scramble for it, and Chet Henderson realized it, dove back and covered the football. Ends, and going to the second quarter. Second and goal at the 12. Washington with the ends in tight. Slot Johnson coming in motion. Fake to Martinchek, stays to block. Gregula puts it up, pass complete. Ryan Moy, touchdown.
It's a great time to throw the football, 2nd and long. They needed.
And I think Coach McDougal will be saying, "Oh, we should have 2 guys covering if we've got 2 receivers." Washington, as is their history, will go for 2. Toss back to Martinchek. Stayed on his feet, got the ball close, and yes, into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Gutty effort there by Justin. Southside 3, the kickoff at Wash High Stadium when we come right back. Okay, 42 is J.D. Lynn, which is right there. He should be partway down. He was 64. Okay, what do you got here? Washfed and Observer. Okay. Okay, tell him don't worry about it. See if he can find us on where it. Gregula hooks up with Moy, 12 yards for the score, and Martinchek adds the 2-point conversion run, and Washington up 14-3. Prexies ready to kick it off, and the kick taken back around the goal line and picked up by Ian Gibbons. Gibbons trying to find somewhere, and he runs out of space just across the 10-yard line. That kick
Not deep enough, and Gregula kicked the ball over their heads, and he tried to make a good play by putting his hand up and didn't field the ball.
Schneider, 3rd series at quarterback. Hands the ball off, going over the right side. The carry by Silsley. Silsley out.
1st down to get him thinking a little bit rather than just thinking run.
Corey Boyd, the fullback, 235-pound starter, is on the sidelines with his shoulder pads and helmet off, and an ice pack on the upper right thigh. Handoff goes again to the fullback. Play goes over the right side. Silsley gets across the 15. While all the pages are still in the playbook, a bunch of them are stuck together, right?
I know that for a fact.
There are plays that you could call, but you don't want to make a habit of it. Snyder under center sends Thompson one way, hands the ball back the other way, and Silly avoids a tackle and's got some room. He's out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. First down, they get a big play.
They've continuous.
Nick Opasic into the ball game, and P.J. Hughes gets a breather. 14-3, Washington in the lead. Schneider falls down, handling the ball off. Silly gets the carry and out for almost 3 yards near the 30. It already has happened. We've gotten major penetration. Colin Miles right up over the center. 2nd down and 7 for the Southside Rams. Silly comes in motion. Schneider with a play fake. Sets and throws. Pass looked to be tipped possibly, but it is complete to Silsley, the fullback, across the 30-yard line out to about the 3rd down and 4 for the returning Class A state champions out of Southside area, Hookstown. Great to have you along on WPIAL AM Washington. Confusion in the backfield. The 2 running backs, fullback Silsley and the wing. Justin Martinchek and Javon Washington back to receive. Pontus gets a good snap, just gets the kick away. Partially tipped, though, actually. And a ball bounding around the 45-yard line. Binky Johnson laying out and getting fingertips on the football.
Bob did out to Southside. They've, with the punt return and the 2 short punts, really put themselves in a bad position.
8 minutes to play in the half. 14-3 Washington with the lead and the ball from the 47. 1st and 10. Grigula with a play fake. Has Moy on the post behind the coverage. Complete to the 10-5. Touchdown.
Great execution. Good fake of the belly. Terrific. If you can throw the ball on 1st down, you can win football games, and you can win football games quickly. And perfect execution on Washington's part. On any doubt in guys' mind that Grigula was the guy that he was going to count on at quarterback, even though he didn't have the experience that you would like to have coming back, having been integral in a lot of the kicking game last year. He played in pressure situations. He has the temperament, I think, the guy likes as a quarterback.
Justin Grigula boots home this extra point with authority out of the hold by DJ Valley. And with 7:52 to play in the first half, Washington 21, Southside area 3. With help from a stadium, grinding up of 6,000 used tires and placement of that on the field to the committee. And if you would like to donate, much more is needed. Contact Denny Adams or Rick Mancini at the Washington School District. Grigula to kick off and hangs this one up in the air. Thompson takes it on the move at the 9-yard line as he crosses the 25. A host of Washington players are to return for Thompson. Southside 1st and 10 at their own 28. Well, we heard we would see 2 quarterbacks tonight, but it has been all Schneider so far. Handoff goes straight ahead and not very far.
Has not tried to take advantage of that on 1st down at all.
7:05 to play in the first half. 2nd down and 10. Toss back to Thompson, trying to follow everybody to the right side, and Thompson gets to about the 30, maybe the 31. 3 big plays for Southside, all coming on 3rd downs. Their real offensive production so far tonight. Quarterback and fullback run into each other. Pass knocked away just at the last second. Great diving effort there by Brian Skaggs, laying out Pontus to punt.
Wash High was pretty close to the last one. It remains to be seen. It looks like they're going to set up to try to return this.
Darren Johnson on the end, and Johnson doesn't get near as close this time. Pontus punt is away, and Javon Washington calls for the fair catch and makes it. He and Martinchek with a little confusion.
I think Guy would like to take this one in and win at halftime with another score, certainly. We'll see how he tries to get it.
1st and 10, Grigula hands to Martinchek on a little delay, trying to bounce it outside. Can't get out of the tackle, but still pulling people with him and works forward for about 4 yards. Less than a minute into the ball game. Ends flexed out 5 yards. Well, maybe not quite 5, and now they shift in tight, and we're going to go end over. 2nd down and 6 at the 45. And the ball off to Vontae Johnson, hitting the backfield, and actually ran into Travis Thomas, his fullback.
It depends on your defensive philosophy, that's for sure. I mean, offensively, it's tough to predict the first time you do it.
3rd down and a long 5 near the 47, and delay of game.
When they get out there all the time and they're frenetic about it.
3rd down and now 10 back at the 41. Martinchek coming in motion toward the sideline from his slot position. Ball in the air, looking for Martinchek, just a little under. Believe me.
There's none in here either.
We'll go with a punt. Snap is high. Has to go up and field it. Steps up, gets the kick away. Does not panic. Ball hits at the 30. Bounces high in the air. And now we'll kick back a little bit toward the south.
And that's
just a kickoff out of bounds.
Just a kickoff out of bounds. And that's a statement to the coaching staffs of both these teams.
And delay of game. Now we'll have to add that one in. Oh, two people moving. We'll get a flag now.
I knew I'd jinx them.
And 15 now back at the 25. Gibbons wide out to the near side. Thompson the slot near side. Selly the wing to the right. Thompson goes in motion. Selly gets the handoff, and he and Schneider ran into each other. Bump shoulder pads. Selly takes the hand. 3:35 remaining here in the second quarter. 21-3, Washington leading. Second down and 14 from the 26. Schneider hands the ball to the fullback. Ball was loose, and the Little Prexies have it. Looks like Ben Borkowski may have ended up with a fumble recovery. Just came into the ball game. Corey Boyd injured on the early play from on the offense. First and 10 at the 24. Toss back to Vontae Johnson. He's to the 20, trying to run to the corner to the 10, and dragged down. First and goal at the 9-yard line for the Little Prexies, trying to add their 4th touchdown of the half. Straight ahead, Travis Thomas stopped by the pile, but went untouched.
Want to do with it that time they felt that they were going to test the middle and see where they were going.
Moy to the right, DJ Valley to the left. Second and goal at the 7. Regula on the option, puts the ball on the ground. Martinchek trying to get back to it, scramble for it, and Southside's going to recover it at the Washington 22-yard line. Late decision by Regula.
Kids can execute what they practice, and that time, because of the defense being played and because of the tackling, they didn't have an opportunity to do that.
First and 10, we'll call it the 21-yard line. Schneider has been quarterback the entire half. Southside running out of time on the play clock, and now they're able to get the play off. Schneider pump fakes, pulls it back down, rolls to his right, sets and throws out to the right side. Pass complete for a gain of about 5. Schneider hands the ball off. Fullback Silsley cannot run out of this tackle. Gets out.
Third down and 3 or 4.
A minute to go in the first half. 3rd and 3, we'll call it at the 28. On the pass downfield near the midfield stripe. And now Pontus will punt for the 5th time.
Bad snap.
Snap rolls back, and Pontus just pops it out of there. A little pooch punt, gets rid of the ball. Martinchek picks it up at the 39-yard line. Grabbed by the jersey and tried to stay on his feet.
It shows pretty good teamwork, too, in the tandem back there.
Ball at the south side 30. Going wide out to the left side is Mark Clark. Ryan Moy comes wide to the near side, and Moy is one of those guys I want to talk about at some point in the second half about how he settled in his role as a wide receiver this year. Was the backup quarterback and was thought to challenge this year. Regula going to put it up, looks for Clark. Clark makes the grab to the end zone, touchdown.
Tell you what, the wide receiver just ran right by the corner in the
27-3, and Regula now to attempt the extra point kick. Washington scores a minute into the first quarter. That possession lasting less than a minute. Their next touchdown lasted less than a minute. A 12-yard TD pass. Regula puts the foot to the extra point, and that kick is good. Washington 28, Southside 3. Washington's 3rd touchdown, 8 seconds, 47 yards. And this one, 7 seconds, 39 yards and a touchdown.
It's a little bit tough to get some consistency, but I know the coaching staff is in particular about being a little bit more consistent.
10-yard run and a 15-yard run, and everything else basically negligible for Southside. With Gibbons are back to receive. And Regula puts the foot, driving this one to Gibbons back at his 7-yard line. Waits for the wedge to develop, and then it doesn't really provide the kind of protection. Tried to pop it up there instead of kick it home. After that, I mean, he's really put the foot to it on the other two that he's had the opportunity to kick on.
Can't see the balls land because there's no lights in the back of the end zone.
First and 10 Southside at their own 25-yard line. Late here in the first half. Toss back to Silly, and Silly's turned inside by ball game. In fact, on Boyd's third carry of the game, he picked up 15 yards and a first down out to the 40-yard line. But situation is this, taken right at the sideline by Andy Moody. Moody across the 20 and stopped right around the 25. Wide out to the near side comes Ian Gibbons, and the quarterback is Bill Schneider. We thought we would see Jared Butler at the helm as well tonight, but we've seen all Schneider so far. Handoff
in the inside belly out of the wing tee. And
second down and 7 at the 29. Schneider under center. Thompson goes in motion. Silsley gets the handoff and gets one. Stop.
Trying to convert these, but I think that Washington has come up with a plan here.
Third down and 6. Schneider with a play fake, rolls right, dumps the ball off, complete to Pontus. He's got the first down across the 35 and out to about the 40-yard line. Helping out on the sideline. First and 10 for Southside at the Washington 42-yard line after the 12-yard completion to Pontus. Silly coming in motion. Quarterback keeps, and Schneider, it's maybe a half a yard.
Gained a yard.
Second and 9 at the 43. Gibbons comes wide out to the near side. New wingback in the ball game, and I'll try to find a number 30, but so far nothing doing. Hand it off to Silsley, the fullback, carries it up over the 45 to the 47. Third down and about 4. Helms goes in motion, takes a little high toss, trying to bounce to the outside, drug down before he got to midfield, so it will bring up fourth down and a quarter. 28-3, Washington leading. Pontus to punt, or at least in punt formation. Little Prexies trying to get people off, and looks like they got the right number now. Snap is over the head of Pontus. Tries to go back. He's going to try to kick the ball and gets rid of it. The ball carries onto the south side bench, maybe shy of the line of scrimmage. Washington with the ball. That's one thing that the Little Prexies are glad has happened. They have it first and 10 at their own 49. Martincheck, short motion, handed off to Travis Thomas, and Thomas trying to find some room, fights forward for point of the third quarter. 28-3, Washington with the lead. Ends are up and split. Zach Montecalvo getting some action wide out to the left side. Hand off to Justin Martincheck, slips through the hole, gets into the 40-yard line area. Washington used a timeout, first and 10 at the south side 40-yard line, and a guy with room to work on the sideline. People trying to stay back away. He is upset about something. Hand off to Travis Thomas. Takes it to the left side. He got to the 35 before being driven backwards. Lost the football. No.
Good defense on the part of Southside.
Film time in the morning will not be any fun on that series. After the run by Martincheck for the first down, have to use a timeout and then turn the ball over. First and 10, Southside. And this play goes nowhere.
That was a great hit there defensively. They ran again the fullback belly off the left side.
Corey Boyd with 3 carries in the first half and out ever since. With an ice bag on the right outer leg, lower leg. Second and 10, Schneider sends the wing in motion, gives to Silsley, hit in the backfield and stopped. Monte Johnson there to close it up, but Tommy Sapula is the one that really popped Silsley.
Again, tried to run a fullback, little trap up inside, and went
pass. And the receiver wide open. He had to come back and get the ball. And 12 yards on the pickup here earlier in this quarter. Third down and 11.
Wash Highs man-to-man across the board.
Schneider looking on the, looked like just a straight
throwing to
Brandon Pontus, who has spent as much time tonight trying to pick snaps up high or low as he has catching passes. It's a decent snap and gets the kick away. It will hit in front of Martincheck and Javon Washington. The Little Prexies will let the ball go, and it will punt by Pontus, 35-yard effort. 1st and 10 from the 31, and the ball off to the fullback, Travis Thomas, and carries out to the 35.
But Guy has an ability to do that, and as I've watched him play and his teams play for a number of years.
Moy wide out to the near side. DJ Valley wide to the left for Justin Grigula. 2nd down and 6 from the 35. Grigula drops. Looking to get the ball across the middle. Incomplete. Silsley 3rd and 6 at the 35. Ends are split. Slots both ways with the fullback Thomas. Grigula hands the ball off to Vontae Johnson. Steps over one guy, gets the 40. The 45 runs out of a tackle. Up the near sideline. Vontae Johnson to the 30, and he's going to take this one the distance. Vontae Johnson, 65 yards for the Washington touchdown. And we're going to get a flag on a
Had to and looked spectacular at times doing them.
Valley to hold, Grigula to kick. Snap behind Valley, he gets it teed up. Grigula puts the foot to it. It's plenty of height, then the kick is good. Good work there by DJ Valley to handle a bad snap, get it teed up, and Grigula able to boot it home. Washington 35, Southside Area 3. The kickoff after this word from Presbyterian Senior Care. Yeah. Yeah. 5-3 lead. And the touchdown on the Vontae Johnson 65-yard run. Spread out, and he went up and set it again.
I think he's going to kick it across the field this time. I think he had it set up straight. He just kick it across the field.
Grigula's kick is taken on the move at the 11-yard line. Looks like Silly returning it. Silly across the 20 and stopped right around the 20.
Defensively, and makes the other team work real hard to get it out of their end.
Well, the other thing it does, if you force Southside to punt, they've had trouble with the punting game all night long. So you really have a field position game work in your direction. Schneider on the option, pulls it backside, fumbles the ball, scramble for it. Looks like Sapula knocked the ball and able to get a hand on it, and Sapula may be the guy that pulled it in. Yep, make it to Colin Miles. It is, in fact, cramps. Turnover, 2nd of the night for Southside, each team with 2 now. 1st and 10, Washington at the Southside 18-yard line. Martinchek takes the handoff, and he is taken right away and dropped for a loss back at. I mentioned a couple of Smurfs. Brian Cherry, one of those guys in the ball game now. Cherry at 5'5", 150-pound, working in the slot, and takes the handoff. Cherry looking for somewhere to run, gets inside the 20 and struggles forward to about the 8.
3rd and 10.
Miles stretching the leg out on the bench. Center is Dan Cohen. And the ball off to Martinchek, trying to follow behind Moses' block. Martinchek stood up, tries to run out of that, and does. Got hit by the umpire. And Martinchek stopped from a touchdown only. Although you do like to do those things in game action situations, they're not going to do it up 35-3. 1:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. 4th down and about half the length of the football. Inside the 9, Travis Thomas gets the 1st down. Tried to turn it upfield for more, and he's driven backward.
Really doesn't have a chance unless he just makes a super effort on his own.
Colin Miles up on the near sideline, walking around. Looks like he's heading down toward the area to try to support the team in a score situation. The ball off to Brian Cherry, and Cherry spun around to not one of the Smurfs. 5'7", 220. 2nd down and goal at the 7-yard line. You've got some new people in the ball game. You want to work people in. Offensive line almost in. They got again Cohen in there at the center. Grigula tucks the ball on the hip, tried to make a move at the 15 and takes it out of bounds. That wasn't really a carry. He pitched the ball, but not very well. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter on the board. Grigula drops. Fakes the ball in the Statue of Liberty, draw play. Give it to Justin Hall, and Hall gets to about the 5-yard line as the 3rd quarter comes to a close. Five. Here, Washington leading 35-3, and with it 4th and goal at the 3-yard line. Grigula sends Cherry in motion. Grigula and Hall run into each other. Grigula throws the ball into the end zone play, and that is about the extent of the offense in the 2nd half for Southside area. First and 10 at their own 3-yard line. Rams keep the ball on the ground. New quarterback. We do see Jared Butler in the here. 13 carries, 20 yards on the night for Silsley. Silly goes in motion. Play goes to the left side, and Silsley.
Southside has really not found any part of the running game that has been at all consistent, and when that happens, it's you kind of look at the playbook and you can't get anything.
3rd down and 3. Silsley gets the handoff. He and Butler ran into each other. Wide out to the near side comes Ian Gibbons. Jared Butler working his first duty at quarterback tonight. Jed Thompson goes in motion. Silsley takes the handoff, trying to find a hole, and it fills up very quickly.
It's a neat thing about football. You just never know when you go whose number it's going to be that night, because you're only one play away from playing.
That's why you got to pay attention when the first unit's running the plays and you're looking for time. Ball's on the ground. Silsley looks like he's been able to draw.
To play well offensively, because offensively it's much tougher to play. There's a lot more involved, I believe.
3rd down and about 8. Around the 18-yard line. A little toss back and... And still 8 minutes to play in the 4th. 35-3, Washington leading Southside. And the Rams going to have to use a time. Southside facing 4th and 4 at their own 21. Brandon Pontus back in punt formation and fields a low snap. Just gets this kick away. It is a short one. It will hit. No, it'll be fielded, and Prexies fielding that punt in traffic. Don't let the ball get on the ground.
Guy's pretty pleased that he at least went up and caught that thing.
And looks like Ryan Moy at the quarterback spot. Javon Washington in the slot, goes in motion. Justin Hall takes the handoff. Hall powers forward for 6, 7, 8 yards. Be in position to challenge for the starting quarterback spot. There was some talk last year that maybe Moy would get some play ahead of Marsteller, but Moy has done a great job. Handoff goes to Brian.
That he's placed a team in front of his probably individual goals in terms of what position he would rather play.
First down for Washington. Moy hands the ball off. Javon Washington hit right at the line. Barron Johnson, Vontae Johnson, Travis Thomas, all on the near sideline. 2nd down and 10. And the play going straight ahead, and it just keeps on going. And in fact, it was. Barnes with a pickup of 6 to the 22. Barnes set at the fullback spot. Washington comes in motion. Play goes back the other direction. J.R. Ward. Ward going to get a yard on the play. So 4th.
And he just can't get up the field.
4th and 3 at the 21. Ward goes in motion, takes the toss. Everybody to the right side. Ward trying to get to the sticks and does. Gets a first down and taken out of bounds.
Things correctly, and Guy's right. If you run hard for 5 yards, something good might happen. There may not be anybody there for 60.
1st and 10. Moy on the option, tucks it in, keeps, and carries to about the 10-yard line.
The corner, 2nd and 5.
Picked up 5 yards. 3:50 and counting. 35-3, Washington with the lead. Prexies led 28-3 at intermission. Toss back to J.R. Ward, trying to find a place to cut up inside. He gets inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line, and maybe the ball came loose. Flag comes in. Ball at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. New quarterback is Calabrese. Hands the ball off, and the play going one as well. Ward and Washington, the wings. Washington comes in motion from the 1. Hand the ball off to Ward, and Ward finds pay dirt.
A lot of times you don't get a chance to practice your second groups because your time is pretty important in practice. You don't get a chance to practice the second kicking group.
Valley to hold. Tom Miles' kick is blocked. Washington 41, Southside area 3. The kickoff when we come back. How about Trinity? Dawn Rebel anchoring the scoreboard for tonight. We'll take that straight up to midnight on WPIAL AM. Tom Giles to kick off. Giles' kick will hit at the 18 and be picked up there. Looks like Jed Thompson. Thompson took it up the middle and tried to bring it outside and then back into the middle. It's the back into
jumping on the pile after it was all over just to make sure they got their name mentioned.
1st and 10, south side at their own 30-yard line after the kickoff return, and the clock is turning. Butler with a play fake, rolls to his right, dumps the ball off, underthrown and almost picked off by Travis Thomas.
Especially losing her fullback.
2nd down and 10, clock turning, now 45 seconds remaining in the ball game. Butler hands the ball off. Jared Butler working, we'll get the finals from the Nauticom Sports Network scoreboard right up until midnight here on WPIAL AM. Butler steps under center and just does get the snap away, and they toss back and a carry out across the 35 to the 39-yard line. Surface, grinding up some 6,000 used tires with the help of a grant from the Department of Environmental Protection, and spreading that along with grass seed over this field. Installation of an in-the-ground watering system, cleanup of the grandstand area underneath the grandstand, and treating it. And tell them you want to help out with the stadium renovation project. This ball game tonight, East Allegheny, been to the stadium 1 time, Washington there 5 times in the decade of the 90s. East Allegheny looking to draw upon some of those outstanding players that they've had in the past. They've got a number of guys on their coaching staff that have connections with some of the great teams that EA's had.
Just so happens I know 2 of them very personally. I tried to recruit them when I was at W&J. For some reason, John Jenkins went to Pitt and ended up hanging with the Steelers for a year or 2. And
some of the great hits, the play after play work that Sapula did in filling the hole just exactly as he's supposed to. Read what the blocks are doing, the offensive line is doing to the defensive front, and then filling where he's supposed to. He played a great game. And Justin Gragula, the work, the numbers aren't great, but really could have been 3 or 4 or 5 of 7. Threw for 100 yards, 3 touchdowns, and really handled things pretty well for his first start. Gragula with the ball teed up, and it is a very short kickoff, and he just mishit this one, and the ball goes out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. All spotted at the 35-yard line, and wide out to the near side comes Chamberlain. Fullback is Scarpino, and Scarpino gets the call, got around the end, and is submarined at the 39-yard line after a gain of about 4.
Traditionally, East Allegheny for the last 2 years has been a double slot football team, and with Scarpino at 6 foot 215, he carries the load of the ball carrying. That time they didn't line up in their true double slot. They lined it and they overloaded. Ended up getting about a 4-yard gain.
Chamberlain and Martz, twin sets to the left side. Motion man gets the call. That's Eichler, and he's hitting the backfield and does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Great job by the defensive right side of Washington and the linebacker filling. East Allegheny tried to run basically the same play to the open field and did not meet with the same success. Dime defenses where they had substituted some defensive backs and actually ran the ball on 3rd down.
Cherry wide out to the near side with Martz wide left. Wagner with the double slots, drops and rolls, sets the pocket, has time, gets the ball on the flat near midfield, complete. Henderson finally able to wrap up and make the tackle, but not before East Allegheny gets a first down and a completion to Martz.
Boy, Wagner rolled to his left and pulled up in the tackle box and fired a strike on the out route for about a 10-yard gain. And
10 right at the midfield stripe. Slot back, Chamberlain goes in motion, takes the handoff, cuts up over the 50-yard line, works forward for about 3 before Mark Clark finally wraps him up.
That was more of a traditional double slot off tackle power play with the wingback coming back in motion and get
from the field house end toward the scoreboard, the new scoreboard here, part of Phase 1 renovation. Slot from the left comes in motion, handoff to the fullback Scarpino, gets forward for 1.5 yards, close to the 45-yard line. Quarterback and fullback collided a little bit.
And again, they came out with an unbalanced look. I'm not quite sure yet what they're trying to do with the unbalanced look with the front that the Wash High has. Been able to do that because Wash High playing man-to-man and not moving anybody around in the secondary.
DeNapoli and Chamberlain in the slot. Scarpino the fullback, 3rd down and 5. Pass is off the fingertips of Tony Cherry. May well have looked upfield to find where the hit was going to come from, and could have caught the ball, probably should have caught the ball and got a first down, incomplete.
And
then you have too many. Just under 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. Wagner to punt. Martincheck and Washington back to receive. High snap. Baron Johnson putting some pressure on and had a partial block a week ago. The punt will roll inside the 20. And little Prexies finally get away from it. The ball rolls dead at the 12-yard line. Washington will have it first possession there. One here. Five. First and 10, Washington. Vontae Johnson takes the handoff going around the right side, cuts it back toward the middle of the field, and he's up across the 20 to the 25 and hauled down at the 26-yard line.
One of the things that Washington wants to do tonight is they think they want to establish their running game early. I think they're going to do a couple things up front and with their formations to try to get a mismatch inside so that they can run the football and control the football game on the ground early if they can.
Travis Thomas, the fullback. Ends are pulled in tight, double wing set. Martincheck comes in motion, takes the toss, trying to run this side. Tried to step behind the block and does. Across the 30 to the 35-yard line, a gain of 9.
Again, Washington came out that time unbalanced into the boundary with a tight end and a wing and an over tackle, and just really had numbers. They had a real big gap between the tight end and the guard, and really the East Allegheny did not make much of an adjustment, and they just tossed the ball and ran to avoid the big play offensively for Wash High. I think they want to try to make them walk the ball down the field and not have the big play to score. 5
men on the line of scrimmage for the Wildcats. Handoff goes to Johnson. He's into the open to the 40, 45, and tripped up. One guy left to beat and just gets tripped up by Jermaine Bivens.
Right now he was one arm away basically from getting the whole thing done, and the front 7 of Washington right now is just handling the front 7 of East Allegheny.
13-yard pickup for Vontae Johnson. 14-yard effort on his first carry. 2 plays inside the tackle and 1 just outside the tackle, and Washington's moved from their own 12 to their own 48. Martincheck short motion, takes the handoff and all kinds of room on the near side. East to the 45 to the 40, taking on a guy head on and brought down right at the 35-yard line of East Allegheny.
Again, Washington went unbalanced, and instead of running the power, they ran a little inside trap to where they were spread out because of the unbalanced line. And Bob, I think you and I both shoulder to shoulder could have ran through that.
Possession, 53 yards so far in the books. All on the ground, 4 plays. First and 10 at the Wildcats' 35-yard line. Handed off to the fullback. Travis Thomas right up the gut. Takes it to his left. Avoids Wagner. He's to the 15 to the 10 and down to the 5-yard line.
They're just real sharp offensively right now. All that was a little fullback trap up the middle out of the double slot. And frankly, what ended up happening is they ran to where East Allegheny had 4 people inside and just ran by the linebacker.
The near bench being checked out by Dr. Tony Canterna. That means Dan Cohen working the center spot. Hand off to Thomas, and he gets hammered right away.
Understand that it's imperative that you come away with points. You have 2nd and goal on the 4, and what you don't want to do is you don't want to go backwards and you don't want to make errors. So you've got to be aggressive and get after it.
2nd and goal. Ball's on the ground, bounces right back up to Gregula, but by the time he recovers, he's back at the 10-yard line and going down in the hands of Brennan Seitz, a loss of 5.
You know Miles can handle people right on him, you know, but he really does a good job in terms of blocking back, and that's what he got in trouble on the second down play.
3rd and goal at the 9. Grigula under center, wideouts both ways. Grigula looks to put it up, gets pressure right away, throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Ryan Moy.
Great catch by Moy. The ball was a little bit high, a little bit behind, but Grigula stood in there and delivered the ball, and Moy went up and made a great catch. It was one-on-one coverage on the outside to the field side, and that's a quick way to make up 9 yards.
Completed 4 passes on the season, all for touchdowns. 5:27 to play first quarter, and Washington on the board on their opening possession. Valley to hold, Grigula to kick. Good snap from Henderson. Whole package works as Grigula boots the extra point home. Washington 7, East Allegheny nothing. 5:27 to play in the first, the kickoff when we come back. 5:27 to play in our opening period. Washington with a 7-0 lead. 9-yard TD pass from Grigula to Moy. Justin Grigula adds the extra point. Well, Prexies go 88 yards in 8 plays for the touchdown. The kickoff sailing over the head of the deep guys. Eichler was the closest to it.
Over everybody's head, and it was a very, very strategic kickoff, and one that worked well.
1st and 10, Wildcats at their own 20. Wagner's pass is tipped, ball tipped up in the air, intercepted by Chet Henderson. And Henderson caught it on one knee. Washington's got the ball right back at the 26-yard line. Interception. And the Little Prexies have the football.
They ran a little 3-step slant, and the ball got batted in the air by one of the defensive linemen from Wash High. He did a great job getting his hands up.
Now the tip drill.
That's and a defensive lineman, I believe, came up with the interception, and that's I know they don't do those drills very often. Wash High has a chance to really get in a groove here.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line of East Allegheny. Johnson in short motion, hand the ball off to the fullback. I believe that's Travis Thomas, although I do expect that we will see 2nd down and 8 at the East Allegheny 24. Grigula, good play fake, has time, looking for Clark, and let him just a step too far at the 5-yard line. Week 6, week 7, somewhere around that pass is completed. Grigula has a little better sense of how much time he has he had all day, and he just threw that just a hair early. 3rd down and 8. Monte Johnson goes in motion, play goes back the other way. Martin check, and he is tripped up and stopped.
That time they ran the unbalanced look that they had so much success with before, but they ran.
I don't know if he got the clock cleaned or what. He had helmet trouble, and then they were looking up around the head and shoulders. Washington going for it on 4th down, and the Little Prexies called timeout on a ball tipped, and he dove out and made the grab. Ended up with a knee down, or he had some room to return the ball. Now Washington facing 4th and 9 at the Wildcats' 25-yard line. Grigula short drop, throw to Moy, now looking for the double pass. Moy throws the ball toward the end zone, coming back, making the grab, touchdown, Justin Martincheck. Grigula to Moy to Martincheck, the double pass for the score.
That was a well-conceived play. With the unbalanced Twins look, what East Allegheny did is they kind of went man-to-man on the Twins, and once the ball was thrown outside the box, there was really nobody to put any pressure on the passer, who ended up throwing the double pass, and Martincheck snuck right out of his wing position down the middle and made the catch in front of the man who was watching him man-to-man. Well conceived. I think they probably picked this up off the film and knew exactly what they wanted to do and what situation they wanted to run it in.
Snap behind Valley, tees it up. Grigula puts the foot to it, and the kick is good. Good work there by DJ Valley to get the ball teed up, and the Little Prexies have their 2nd touchdown, their 2nd extra point. Washington 14, East Allegheny nothing. The kickoff when we come back. Now Washington with the 8 of the double pass makes East Allegheny pay for the turnover. 4 plays, 26 yards. Moy to Martincheck, 25 for the score. And it is 14-0 early on. Wildcats take the kickoff and get a return out to the corner. Grigula, last guy with a shot. Turn up across midfield and stepping out of bounds at around the right at the midfield stripe. That ball almost returned for a touch. That one from the 8 to the Washington 49. 43-yard kickoff return. 1st and 10 Wildcats. Scarpino, the fullback, coming in motion toward the near side is DeNapoli. Scarpino takes the handoff, trying to get around the corner, and dropped by Moy after a gain of 1.5 yards.
Again, a little off-tackle belly to the fullback, and Wash High really did a real good job on the corner that time, coming up to meet the ball carrier.
Will be going to the Nauticom scoreboard here in week 2 following our broadcast here on the AM. Gain of 2 for Scarpino. 2nd down and 8 at the Washington 47. Scarpino again gets the handoff, driven backwards, keeps the feet going, ends up with a gain of 1 yard on the play. That one could have turned out to be a loss, but Scarpino kept going, trying to get behind people and gained 1 yard on it.
That was a great job by the defensive line of Wash High. They tried to trap the inside fullback trap, and the defensive line made them belly the ball outside. And whenever you get a big back running sideline to sideline, you're in an advantage.
Been some dandy ones. It's been a while since the two have played, but that rivalry renews as conference play begins next week. 3rd down and 7. Wagner lays it up the near sideline. Some contact, like Martinchek.
They're much more together tonight than they were last week. You can tell the difference in a week's practice and 1 game under their belt.
Wagner to punt for the 2nd time, a 33-yard effort first time out. Washington with 10 men on the line to punt away from Martinchek, hits inside the 10 and bounds out of bounds. Bounds pins Washington back at the 7-yard line. 1st and 10, Gregula set under center. Monte Johnson goes in motion, and that draws one of the linebackers, I believe, across. Kickoff out of bounds. On a 1st and 5 out at the 12. Ends are pulled in a flex position. Handoff goes to Justin Martinchek, trying to follow around behind Danny Moses, and then cuts it back the other way. Justin Martinchek off to the races, and only one guy with a chance, and he's not closing very much. Martinchek now starting to pull away to the 10-5, touchdown Washington.
What a great job up front. Big hole up front, and Martinchek made the move around the pile about 5 yards up the field. They ran a little inside counter. And one of the things that we noticed last week is that the wing backs, when they were taking that counter play, were trying to get a little bit sideways. That time he got vertical right to his shoulders to the goalpost at the opposite end of the field and just outran everybody in the secondary for the touchdown. I think what the Washington coaching staff wanted their kids to do in the first half of the 2nd game, I think it's a perfect script for them. They've had a chance to move the ball on the ground from long distances and allow them to be consistent, and they've also made a big play right here.
Martinchek's 2nd long TD run of the year, 60-yard effort on the first carry last week, and on his 4th carry tonight, 88 yards for a touchdown. Justin Gregula boots home the extra point. Washington 21, East Allegheny nothing. 2 Yep. Foster at the 8.
That time was outside the hash mark. Much better that time.
5.
The positioning of the ball outside the hash mark was a much better position for the kickoff, and it really allowed the cover team to get down and squeeze it.
1st and 10 East Allegheny. They are shy of their own 10-yard line. The handoff goes to DeNapoli.
This will be the interesting time of the ball game, even this early in the football game. What offense back on the field, and see if the kids can get 28 right now and put the game out of hand.
2nd down and 8 from the 9-yard line. DeNapoli comes in motion, takes the toss, trying to follow behind Scarpino. Got a block from Scarpino, and DeNapoli carries across the 10 to the 15-yard line.
Good job, toss sweep coming into the Washington bench, and they got a little seam and managed to get a couple yards, and they got a 3rd and 1. Pretty nice job by East Allegheny that time. Pursuit ended up getting the ball carrier.
Wildcats could do nothing with that, and the Little Prexies did quickly to stretch the lead to 21-0. Wagner set under center. Brings DeNapoli in motion and gives him the football. DeNapoli stood up at the 16-yard line, and he is, I believe, short.
I don't think he made that. Washington did a great job. The inside three people, they went to a double eagle look, which means that the defensive lineman covered the center and two guards, and they really controlled those three people and allowed the rest of the defense to run to the football, and they did.
Agreed with me. We'll see here how this works out. Yep.
I still agree with you.
Length of the football.
Well, this is a great opportunity for the offensive kids at Wash High to really get some intensity and get after it.
And it would appear that Wagner is not going to snap the football. And the first quarter comes to an end. A tremendous first quarter for the Little Prexies.
Yeah, Bob. When you have somebody run off a 91-yard run, your offensive total goes up a whole lot real fast.